Okay, we'll move then straight into the mover of the Anti-Racism Policy Commission report, motion 18.
Good afternoon, conference. My name is Luke Cooper. I'm involved in the Anti-Racist Policy Work Group, and I'm also in the Islington branch. You don't need me to stand here and tell you how serious we've seen attacks on immigrants and refugees over the last 10 to 15 years. It started with the last Labour government, and particularly the focus then was on asylum seekers and refugees, those fleeing war, persecution, and the message that the Labour government had at the time and carried through in policy terms was to essentially close Britain to people fleeing war and persecution. Under this government, it's really shifted attention to the focus on economic migrants, who now face attacks, as we've already heard this afternoon, and I hope everyone signs that petition, that face attacks on their benefits, housing, health work and access to legal rights and legal representation removed under this government. Parties like the UKIP and British National Party are growing firmly off the back of this tidal wave of anti-immigrant, pro-racist sentiment. Now, we discussed this in the policy document, and we need to be clear that while it can be, a bleak picture out there in terms of the rise of racism, there is hope to push back this argument, because as in so many other issues, there simply is no voice in the political mainstream putting the arguments that refugees, asylum seekers, economic migrants are welcome here. And Left Unity needs to be the party that establishes itself, is prepared to make the arguments that they have every right to move there, that they can bring their families, that they fleeing war, persecution, moving to improve your everyday life and existence. Our borders, must be and should be open to you. Now, we've seen, as a result of the recession, the argument made so often, like by these right-wing parties, that it's mass immigration that is to blame for unemployment. And we need to be saying, no, definitely not. With the TUC that have just published a great pamphlet exposing the immigrant lies, it's the attacks of neoliberalism